It's showtime. Hello my friends, my name is Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales, and welcome to the YouTube channel. In this video, we shall be talking about how I got the name Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. Also, just to let you guys know, I am now streaming on Twitch. Please check out the description below for a link to my Twitch channel. If that's something that interests you, that would be great. I don't have a schedule at the moment, but I'm looking to ease my way back into it. I'll post stuff on my Discord and YouTube once I have a proper kind of routine going. So this might be quite a long-winded video, but I'll try my best to condense as much information as I possibly can. The story goes back to when I was in university. I studied at the University of Glamorgan with my good friend Tom. Some of you might know him online as 90 Gold. And me and him were in university. We were in the computer room doing some coursework. We were talking about YouTube and how it was sort of growing into this big thing, and how watching gameplay and let's plays and streams and stuff was really fun. Bear in mind, 2011, 2012, it was starting to see, take popularity and go into the ascendancy, I guess, wasn't it? So we thought it would be a cool idea to actually start a channel. Maybe our own channel, like together, both of us working on it, or maybe our own separate channels. And this discussion didn't really go away. We talked about it quite a bit, and quite a bit at length, I guess, back then. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I will. Let's get the university out of the way. We were in our final year at the time. 2012 to 2013 was my final year. Let's see if we can, maybe focus on that once we come out of university. It might be a little hobby or project to do on the side. So I'm thinking of channel names. At the time, I was watching a lot of Clone Wars, and I thought it would be a cool idea to call myself like Cad Bane or Cad Bane's Blaster or something really off the kind of thing. Can you imagine my channel now? Hello, it's Cad Bane here, or I'm Cad Bane's Blaster, bang bang. That just wouldn't have not have fit at all, I don't think, for what my channel's about. But at the time, I was really into Star Wars, the Clone Wars, the animated show, and Cad Bane was probably one of my favourite characters when he just walked in with that croaky voice and the blue skin and the red eyes, and the funny hat and everything. I just thought, oh, that'd have been really cool to have done some stuff, with that kind of name. Luckily, that didn't stick. I didn't actually go with that name or anything. And sure enough, me and Tom, we went through university, we finished, and our last coursework was in the May of 2013. We graduated in the July. But a little bit before that, I actually set up the channel. I created it in March. I think it was March the 20th I created the channel up of 2013. I called myself Dragonheart 1791. Now, the reason why I called myself this name, and there's a few reasons why. First of all, I'm also into Total War. As you know, most of this channel for the past 7 years has been pretty much strategy game / Total War oriented. Total War being a big part of my life growing up. I grew up watching Time Commanders. That got me into Rome Total War. I played Rome Total War, Medieval 2 Total War at length. I wanted to play Empire Total War really, really badly. I couldn't because my old PC at my parents' house back when I was a kid just couldn't run it at all. It's mad to think of it in this day and age, but I just couldn't run it back then. So I ended up having a little laptop for the first couple of years at university where I was just doing coursework and stuff and listening to music. That was basically all I did on my laptop. But I also spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos on the laptop. One YouTuber in particular was Lionheart X10. Lionheart being one of the best and biggest Total War channels out there. At the time, I think he had like 2,000 subscribers, so he was quite small. I think now he's like 300 or 400,000 strong, and it's his full-time job, which is fantastic for him. But he was one of my favourite channels growing up, and he kind of got me into Total War from the YouTube aspect of it, I guess. So I thought, well, Lions and the name Lionheart is very much an English sort of thing. You think of Richard the Lionheart, although that would have been a funny name for me because my name outside of YouTube, my real life name is Richard. So I could have been Richard the Lionheart. I suppose you could call me Richard the Dragonheart because that's my YouTube name if you wanted to call me that, I guess. But that's kind of where the sort of idea came from. I associated Lionheart with the English king Richard the Lionheart, and then as I thought more about it, Braveheart. That's that's the Scottish film about the war for Scottish independence against England and the Battle of Bannockburn and Stirling Bridge and all of that. William Wallace and freedom and all that stuff. It's a great film, although it's totally historically inept in many ways, but still a decent film to watch. And I thought, well, I associate that with Scotland and the whole the blue paint and stuff, and that's all very much a Scottish thing. So why don't we go with Dragonheart? So I did a little bit of research at the time. The only thing I could find on Dragonheart pretty much at the time was the film Dragonheart, which is a pretty decent film, to be honest. Though I haven't seen the second one, but I saw the first one, and that was pretty good back in the day. I mean, modern film now, it could be remastered, couldn't it? It's a bit dated, but still a very decent film. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. But anyway, I digress. So we go with the name Dragonheart. That's the name I go with. But back when you create the channel back then, you're very restricted on what you can call yourself. So I couldn't just call myself Dragonheart because there was an already account out there. And sure enough, you search for the name Dragonheart, and it's really annoying. You click on the account, and there's no videos, there's no anything on there. But at the time, it locks you out of it. So I'm like, oh my god, why can't I just go with this? It's really, really annoying. So I think, well, I got to put numbers in the name, obviously. So I thought, right, I'll call myself Dragonheart 17 because I view 17... It's my favourite number. I'm a bit superstitious, but it's my favourite number. It's the number that it's on my date of birth. It's my date of birth is June 17th. It's my date of birth number, my favourite number, and it's also the number for when we got married. We got married September 2017, September 2019, but we got married on the 17th of September. There we go. So the number 17 is quite a significant number in my life. So I really wanted to call myself Dragonheart 17. Although at the time I wasn't married, but it's just a coincidence, and obviously a bit of planning went in place for us to get married on that day, which is great. But still, I went with that. So I typed in the name Dragonheart 17. Couldn't have that name either because someone had taken that name. I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, I've then gone with like a 3-tier number, like Dragonheart 17 like 1 or 17 like 2, stuff like that, and there's accounts on there. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what's going on? Why can't I have the name that I want? Coming up with a YouTube name is so hard. So in the end, I decided to break it up, and I've gone with 17, which is my, like I said, my favourite number, my date of birth and stuff. It's got some significance. And then I've gone with the year I was born, 91, because why not, you know? I just tacked that on at the end because I didn't really know what to do. And hence the name was there, and the channel was born, Dragonheart 1791. And then I did my first YouTube video not long after that, and I was super nervous. I didn't know how to talk to a camera. Like right now, I'm in like the bedroom, doors wide open. I'm a lot more confident. I'm talking direct to the camera. Hello there. And I'm able to sort of be quite confident about it and a bit more natural. Although there's times where I get a bit uneasy because it's still a bit kind of surreal. It's like, you know, I'm in my bedroom right now. There could be somebody outside the window staring at me with binoculars thinking I've lost my mind. And I'm like, well, whatever, you know. So the point is that in that first ever YouTube video that I made back in 2013, I go onto the camera, I load up Worms Revolutions, I start my own little mini-series called Worms Revolution Battles, and I'm there, I introduce myself to my audience the very first time, and I go, hello YouTube, Dragonheart 17, yeah? And I'm very bumbled, and I don't know what I'm saying, and I even get my name wrong, because I'm 1791, and I go, Dragonheart 17, and I thought myself, when I rewatched the video, I thought myself, my god, I can improve so much. But your first video is always like that, you know, you're learning from video to video. I mean, I'm not the best now by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of that's down to working a full-time job, time constraints, tiredness, the daily stresses of life at the moment, you know what I mean? But I'm able to sort of do some jump cuts and stuff and do some basic editing at the very least. But back then, I was just terrible, you know? But anyway, so then moving on to the next part of the name, which is obviously Prince of Wales, Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. So a lot of people in the Total War community, which is the community that I'm, I guess, most closely associated with, they have these title kind of names. So, for example, my good friend Lord Rexasaur is Lord Rexasaur. You've got a very good YouTuber from back in the day who doesn't do so much now, but his name is Prince of Macedon. You've also got Warrior of Sparta. You know, there's lots of different names. There's Heir of Carthage. There's so many names in the Total War community. So I thought Prince would be quite a good name. For a start, it's a little bit like Prince, like the singer, you know. You don't have to be beautiful to turn me on. That was strange. But also, Prince of Wales is a title that's used by the royal family. There are very, 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 very famous examples of princes of Wales. You think of Rodri the Great, Llywelyn the Great. You know, you've got King Anaraud ap Rodri of the I think it's the Aberfraw dynasty of the former kings of Gwynedd. There's a rich history of the title Prince of Wales. I wanted to incorporate that as my kind of thing. And I think as I got older in kind of the community, throughout the YouTube community and Total War, I got more confident and stuff. And you almost get like an online persona, like a kind of skewered kind of view of thing. When you're streaming, particularly, you almost like you put on a show at the end of the day. You are putting on a bit of a show for people, so you have got that kind of a bit of a swag. And I felt like the Prince of Wales was that kind of swag, that kind of me being the prince is that kind of like thing. I used to do a lot of wild things back when I was streaming in 2015-16, where I'd have face paint on. I used to go to streams wearing face paint. I would jump up and fart on the camera. I would make kind of weird kind of jerking gestures and stuff while Panda's like got playing Resident Evil 4 or wherever. I used to do lots of crazy stuff back then, and all of that was kind of like is me messing about effectively, but it's also me and like an extension of myself in that kind of persona, I guess, almost, because it is like not like a split personality kind of weird thing like that, but like an extension of your online presence, I guess. So that's kind of where I came from with that, and sure enough, in 2015, Google Plus integrated more with YouTube. I used to run a Total War community page on Google Plus, but with the integration, it meant that you could change your channel name every so often. So I wanted to get rid of 1791 because I didn't really want that anyway in the first place. So I changed it to Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. I didn't go with it Prince Dragonheart in the first place because, like I said, you had the Lord Rexasaur, warrior of Sparta. You had Prince of Macedon, heir of Carthage. I felt like they all had the thing at the front, the title at the front. I wanted to be different because it's me. So I changed it so it's my name first, then the title after. So Dragonheart, the Prince of Wales. And that's kind of where the name came from, effectively. That's how the name evolved and changed. On Twitter, my name's slightly different. My handle used to be Dragonheart7091 to match the old name. The handle changed when I got more involved in YouTube streaming. I changed it to Dragonheart YTG, which is what it is to this day. Which I think is fine because YouTube gaming, even though YTG fam and stuff isn't really there like it was a few years ago, I'm still a YouTuber, effectively. I still like gaming, so YTG is fine. I don't mind keeping that. And on Twitch, I've got Prince Dragonheart, so it's the other way around on Twitch. I think you can change your name on there, but I'm happy the way it is. Prince Dragonheart's fine by me. Whatever. Anyway, whatever way around you want to put it. And that pretty much sums this little story up. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's enlightened you. I hope it's made you laugh, made you smile, maybe even wept a tear. Who knows? And yeah, there's only one more thing left to say. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and press the like button. Otherwise, I will shoot Dragonheart in the head. Make sure you go over to the Twitch as well. Follow over there and take part in some streams. My name is Geralt, the creepy psychic of the channel. Until next time, goodbye.